Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be giving my NBA DraftKings picks for Friday, December 1st, first day of the new month, and we got an 8-game slate today on this Friday. Really nice slate, some good games, in my opinion, some games that I think we definitely stackable, some games that should be high scoring and also should be competitive. So really like this slate. And before we get started looking at players to target, if you guys could drop a like on the video, I would definitely appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel. I believe we have already hit 7,000 subscribers. I think we hit it yesterday, which is just absolutely insane. Thank you guys so much. 7,000 subscribers is just the beginning. We're going to keep growing just every day, gaining more and more subscribers, getting more people to come to the channel. I love seeing that. So if you are new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I do upload daily. I also make any NFL videos as well. I just uploaded my NFL DraftKings Picks video for Week 13. I uploaded it Thursday night. So make sure you check that video out if you haven't watched it already. I would really appreciate that as well, guys. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and get started looking at this 8-game slate, looking at some point guards to target. And one thing before we get started looking at point guard, I'm not going to be doing 5 plays anymore, guys. The reason I do these videos is not to give you 5 plays and to build half of your lineup for you, which is one of the reasons I feel like a lot of people watch my videos is just to get the 5 plays and then fill out the 3 spots. They don't actually listen to what I have to say. And that's not really the reason I make the video. The reason I do these videos is to give my opinions, give my thoughts on the slate, go through each position and talk about guys I'm looking to target. And hopefully you mix some of my thoughts and opinions with some of your own analysis as well, and you're able to build good lineups that way. I have had a ton of success in DFS doing that. I have my own thoughts and analysis, but I'll also definitely listen to other guys, hear what they have to say. And I've been able to build pretty good lineups that way. I've been doing that for quite some time, pretty much ever since I started playing DFS. So my videos are going to be me going through each position, talking about players I like to target. Although I'm not giving 5 plays, I will definitely be sure to hit on the guys that I really like, the guys I'm definitely going to be jamming into lineups. But I don't really like giving out 5 plays because a lot of people just kind of snatch the 5 plays and then pretty much just take off. And that's not really the reason that I make these videos. But yeah, guys, I hope you understand. Just wanted to get that through. There were some comments in my video the other day about the 5 plays. So I'm not going to be doing them anymore, but I'm still going to be going through each position. That's the reason I make these videos, like I said. So let's go ahead and get started looking at some point guard options today. We got a stud at this position, Russell Westbrook, 11,400, going up against Minnesota, going up against the Timberwolves. Right now, as I'm recording this video, Westbrook is questionable, but he is expected to play. He was a full participant in practice. And I think Westbrook's, you're definitely paying a lot for him at 11,400, but with the way Westbrook has been playing lately, I think he's actually kind of worth the price tag if enough value opens up just as the day goes on and we can fit Westbrook in. Definitely think he is a good option. I don't think he's someone I'm jamming into lineups. Like, I don't think he's the first guy I'm putting into my lineup today. Just because of the price tag, 11,400 is a lot to pay. But like I said, Westbrook's been really consistent. Just in his last 5 games, 70, 67, 65, 60, and 69 DraftKings points, just been ultra consistent. Everything's been up for Westbrook these past few games. The scoring has been up. The rebounds have been up. He's been getting more assists as well. The assists have kind of been consistent just all year, but the rebounds really been up lately. He has double-digit rebounds in 5 straight games. Westbrook's all-around game has just looked really good lately. And he is in a good spot here going up against the Timberwolves, who have struggled to defend the point guard this year. It will be interesting to see who starts for them if Jeff Teague plays today. Teague has missed like the last 2 or 3 games. I think he's actually missed like 4 games lately. And we know Teague's not the best defender, so that will definitely be something to look at. Not sure Tyus Jones defensively how good he is, but we know Teague really struggles defensively. So this could definitely be a good spot for Russell Westbrook if we can fit him in and enough value opens up. Obviously, he is a guy that you can pay up for. He has so much upside. Steph Curry at 9,900 going up against the Magic. Right now it says Curry is questionable, but we just got news right as I started recording that he's actually probable. So Curry is expected to play today. I don't think I'm going to be playing him, though, at 9,900. We're going to need close to 50, if not more than that, 50 DraftKings points for him to return value. And I think if I'm going to pay it for point guard, just go to the top for Westbrook. Just don't think I'm going to be on Curry. But a guy that really interests me, if you want to get off of like the expensive guys like Curry, Westbrook, Kyle Lowry at 8,100. Kyle Lowry has been playing really well lately, and this is a really good matchup for him going up against the Pacers, who have definitely struggled to defend point guards. And when these teams just faced off about a week ago, Kyle Lowry had a monster game, put up 57 DraftKings points, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, almost had a triple-double. If you just look at Lowry's last 4 games, 52, 57, 43, and 55 DraftKings points. Lowry's just been crushing lately. The price tag has definitely caught up. He's 8,100. But for him to return value on that salary, we need about 41, 42 DK points. And in a really good matchup against the Pacers, wouldn't surprise me at all if Lowry got there. So if you want to go a little bit cheaper off the expensive guys, Kyle Lowry, 8,100. I think he makes a lot of sense today. And then if we're looking in this mid-tier for some options here, I think a guy like Elfrid Payton definitely has some tournament appeal today at 6,100 going up against the Warriors. Obviously, this game is going to be played at a very fast pace. Both of these teams play at a very fast pace. When these teams did face off earlier this year, Elfrid Payton did not play well at all. He only put up 13 DraftKings points, and he only played 25 minutes. But Payton has played a lot better lately, has 2 games in his last 3 over 40 DraftKings points. We know Payton has a ton of upside. He has triple-double upside. If this game can stay competitive, it is being played in Orlando, so that should help with the blowout concern. Payton has 40-point upside. He's shown it plenty of times this year. So if you want to go to him at 6,100, he'll probably see Steph Curry defense, which obviously is better than seeing defense from Klay Thompson. Thompson is questionable right now, which is something we're probably going to want to watch throughout the day. But in that mid-tier, Elfrid Payton at 6,100 could be a really interesting tournament option if we want to go to him. And some more options in this mid-tier. A guy like Ricky Rubio at 5,600 going up against the Pelicans. I think he's in a really good spot today. The Jazz, just as of late, have been really injury depleted. On Thursday, as I'm recording this video, the Jazz had a couple guys miss. I think Rodney Hood was out, and another guy was out. Another one of their guards was out as well on Thursday. So guys like Ricky Rubio, Donovan Mitchell, these guys are going to have to play some big minutes. The Jazz are on a back-to-back, so if those guys sit again, Ricky Rubio and some of these starters could be looking at heavy minutes again. When Rubio gets minutes, the guy can produce for you when it comes to fantasy. And he is only 5,600. He should see over 30 minutes if the same guys that sat out Thursday are going to be out today. So Ricky Rubio at 5,600 going up against the Pelicans. Really interesting spot for Rubio, 5,600. I think he is definitely a viable tournament play. Might even be worth a look in cash games. It will be interesting to see how he plays Thursday night against the Clippers. I'm recording this video about 2 hours before that game starts. And if they run a short rotation and a lot of these guys get big minutes, and then the same guys miss on Friday, Ricky Rubio, Derek Favors, Donovan Mitchell, those guys could definitely be interesting plays today. But besides from that mid-tier, if we want to go for some value plays at this position, Tyus Jones, dude's just been crushing lately. I've been playing him every game since Jeff Teague has missed, every game that Jeff Teague hasn't played this year. I've played Tyus Jones. The dude's just been crushing. Last 4 games with Jeff Teague out, 32, 43, 30, 38 DraftKings points, 33, 39, 40, and 42 minutes. So if Jeff Teague's going to be out again today, Tyus Jones is going to play close to 40 minutes, if not more than that. He's only 4,700. If Teague is out, then Tyus Jones is probably a lock for me for value today. I don't think the price tag has really caught up to the production, but I'm only going to be on Tyus Jones if Jeff Teague is out. If Teague plays, I'll probably get off of Tyus Jones, but I've just been playing the dude every day since Jeff Teague's been out, and he's been crushing every single day. So Tyus Jones at 4,700, great value play again if Jeff Teague does not play today. And if we want to go for some more value at this position, I did play Michael Carter-Williams. I played him on Wednesday when Kemba Walker was out against Toronto. He did play 32 minutes in that game, only put up 21 DraftKings points. He got off to a really slow start. I believe like after the first quarter, he only had like 1 DraftKings point. Definitely turned it on in the second half, though. Did wind up finishing the game with 9 points, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds. That's the kind of player that Carter-Williams is. He'll kind of do a little bit of everything. And if Kemba is going to be out again today and Carter-Williams is going to start and play over 30 minutes, which is what he did against Toronto in their last game when Kemba was out, could be an interesting value play. Not the best matchup against the Heat. The Heat are solid against point guards. But if a guy's going to play over 30 minutes and is only 4,400, definitely a guy we want to consider for some value if we need to go that cheap at point guard. Obviously, if Jeff Teague is out, I'm just going to find $300 to get up to Tyus Jones. But if Jeff Teague plays and I need value and Kemba's out, then I could go to Michael Carter-Williams at 4,400. And yeah, guys, I think that's it for point guard value today. Not a ton of value plays. I do record these videos the night before, so it's hard to find a lot of value plays. But right now, there are some options here like Tyus Jones, Michael Carter-Williams. If injuries break our way and Teague and Kemba Walker out, those guys could be value plays. Tim Frazier is a value play at 4,200, but he just hasn't been getting the minutes lately. He hasn't been closing out games either for the Wizards, so I'm going to be off of Tim Frazier. Even with John Wall out, he's just not getting the minutes like I thought he would. So off of Frazier, the value plays I see now at point guard, Michael Carter-Williams and Tyus Jones. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for this position. Let's go ahead and move on to shooting guard. Alright, so at shooting guard, some options here that we can target. Bradley Beal, I've been on him for the past few days. Definitely getting off of him today, even though John Wall's out. This is a really tough spot for Bradley Beal, going up against Avery Bradley, who is one of the better defenders in the NBA. Just as of late, Beal hasn't been doing that much, only 21 and 31 DraftKings points in his last 2 games with Wall out. He did only play 23 minutes against the Sixers, still managed to put up 31 DraftKings points, but this is a really tough spot for Bradley Beal. I think a guy like Otto Porter is one of the better plays today. I think Porter crushes today and Bradley Beal kind of struggles. So if I'm getting exposure to Washington, it's definitely going to be with Otto Porter. Going to be off of Bradley Beal, but since I get off of him today, this will probably be the game where he goes for over 50. So just note that, guys. I'm going to be off of Bradley Beal, going to Otto Porter. I think he's the better play if you want exposure to Washington. I don't think shooting guard today is a position I'm really going to look to pay up at. Just don't think I really like some of these top options. More or less go to the mid-tier and maybe trying to find some value at this position. Like I said back with Rubio, guys like Donovan Mitchell, Rubio, Derek Favors, these guys are going to have to play some heavy minutes since the Jazz have been pretty injury depleted as of late. And if the same guys who missed on Thursday miss again today on Friday, the Jazz are on a back-to-back, so there is a good chance they don't play again. It'll be interesting to see how many minutes Rubio and Mitchell, these guys, get on Thursday. If they get heavy minutes, they could definitely be guys we want to target, even though they're kind of expensive. Rubio isn't that expensive, but Donovan Mitchell, $6,600, pretty high price tag. But this guy's shown countless times that he can pay off that price. It is a good matchup against the Pelicans, so don't mind Donovan Mitchell at $6,600 if some of those guys that missed on Thursday miss again today. And then if we want some more mid-tier options, if Kemba does not play today, a guy like Nick Batum could be really interesting at 6K. One thing to note, Jeremy Lamb is also questionable as well, and if Lamb misses, that's just even more usage and more minutes for Nick Batum. So if Lamb and Kemba both miss today, Nicholas Batum could definitely be a really interesting option. Probably will be a guy I look to force into lineups at 6K. The price tag's definitely high, and the production really hasn't been there lately. Minutes have been inconsistent. He did finally see over 30 minutes in their last game against Toronto. Batum is starting to get healthy again. So if no Kemba, no Lamb today, Nicholas Batum at 6K, definitely going to be a guy we want to target in that mid-tier as shooting guard. And then if we're looking for some value at this position, a guy like Kelly Oubre, I think, is a great value play today at $4,800 going up against Detroit. Oubre does play off the bench, so he'll be able to avoid some of the better defenders like Avery Bradley. And as of late, Kelly Oubre has been crushing with John Wall out, and the minutes have really been there. Just in his last 2 games, he's played 31 and 29 minutes and has put up 29 and 39 DraftKings points. The price has started to rise a bit. He's now up to $4,800. Did see $600 increase in price. But with the way Oubre's been playing lately, I think he gets 25 DraftKings points today and returns value on that salary. So if you do need a cheap shooting guard or small forward, he's eligible at both positions. Really like Kelly Oubre today at $4,800 as a possible value play. And I think that's it for shooting guard value. Not a ton of really cheap options I see here. Not going to be targeting these guys unless guys get injured throughout the day and some value opens up. Right now, the value plays I see at this position are Kelly Oubre, Tyus Jones. He's eligible here. You can play him as shooting guard. Those are the value plays I'm looking to target. So yeah, guys, let's go ahead and move on to small forward. All right, so at small forward, up top of this position, we've got Kevin Durant, 9,600 going up against the Magic. Right now, as I'm recording this video, Durant listed as questionable, but he is also probable for today. Him, Curry, I believe Iguodala, all those guys are probable. The only player that's still questionable for the Warriors is Klay Thompson. So pretty much everyone's expected to play besides Klay. We don't really have news on Klay yet. So I'd imagine Durant plays in this game, but I don't think he's a guy I'm looking to pay up for today. I just think there are better studs available, so I'm not going to be on KD. Don't know if small forward is a position I really look to pay up at. A guy like Aaron Gordon could be an interesting option if you do want to pay up here. Definitely a tournament play. Probably not someone I'm recommending in cash games. But for tournaments, we've seen the upside Aaron Gordon has. He put up 78 freaking DraftKings points in their last game against OKC. Played 44 minutes in that game. This is the second time Aaron Gordon's had one of these games. Earlier this year against Brooklyn, I believe he had like 60 or 70 DK points. He has this kind of upside. It's a good pace-up spot against Golden State. This game's going to be high-scoring. It's just a matter if it's competitive or not. But if it is competitive, this game has so much stack appeal to it. Guys like Aaron Gordon and Elfrid Payton could be really interesting tournament plays. if this game stays competitive, Gordon could definitely be a guy that goes off. So if you want to pay up a small forward, I think he's interesting in tournaments. But the guy that I really like at this position, I talked about him earlier, Otto Porter, 6,500 going up against Detroit. Just really like this spot for Otto Porter. I think Bradley Beal will struggle today, and I think Porter's really going to step up. And when these teams faced off earlier this year against Detroit, Porter played really well, 54 DraftKings points, 28 points, and 9 rebounds. Just an overall solid game from Otto Porter. He's sort of been up and down lately as well with John Wall out. The production's kind of been inconsistent. Just in his last 3 games, 49, 33, and 21 DraftKings points. So has seen a little bit of a decrease when it comes to production. But I think this is a get-right spot for Otto Porter. Does have a nice price tag on him today at 6,500. For him to return value on that salary, we're only going to need about 32, 33 DraftKings points today. And I think Porter gets there. I think Bradley Beal is going to struggle, and I think Porter really steps up big. So I really like him as a mid-tier option at small forward. I'm at 6,500. Then another small forward I like in that same game, Tobias Harris, 6,300, going up against Washington in that same game. We know Washington really struggles to defend wings, to defend small forwards and power forwards. So a guy like Tobias Harris, definitely an interesting tournament option. This guy always has those random games where he just goes absolutely bonkers. And today could be one of those games where Harris goes for 40 plus. Really good matchup against a team that struggles to defend small forwards. So like the spot for Tobias Harris, going to that mid-range of small forward. I think him and Otto Porter are great options at 63 and 6,500. And I think that's it for small forward value today, guys. Not a ton of value plays I'm really seeing. Sub 5K. There are guys here that I've talked about earlier. Kelly Oubre, for example, 4,800. I think he's a good value play. But I don't think there's anyone I'm seeing here that just really stands out to me. Unless some value opens up throughout the day. Probably not going to be on these guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to power forward. Alright, so at power forward, up top of this position, we've got Boogie and AD, 10-9 and 10-4 going up against the Jazz. This is a really interesting spot today for Boogie and AD. I'm not sure who defensively the Jazz are going to put on these guys. Obviously, they have Derek Favors, who will probably defend Boogie. But lately for the Jazz, Jonas Jerebko has been starting at the 4. And there is no way that Jerebko is going to be able to defend Anthony Davis. So this could be just a total smash spot for Anthony Davis. I think he could really have some success here. It will definitely be interesting to see what the Jazz starting lineup is and who they decide to put on Anthony Davis. So I think Anthony Davis, one of the studs I might be looking to pay up for today at 10,400. With no Gobert, really the only big man they have that can defend is Derek Favors, and he's probably going to spend most of his time on DeMarcus Cousins. So Anthony Davis, 10,400, really intriguing option to pay up for today if you do want to pay up at power forward or center. But if we are looking in this mid-tier for some options here, LaMarcus Aldridge at 8,500, the price tag's really got up there. These teams did just face off. San Antonio and Memphis, they did just play like 2 days ago, and Aldridge is totally crushed. I believe he had like 50 DraftKings points the other day against Memphis. They're facing off again. Don't think I'm going to be on LMA though, now that the price has got up there to 8,500. If I'm going to pay up at power forward, I'll probably just go up to Anthony Davis for just more salary, and I'll find somewhere other position to go cheaper. So if I'm paying up at this position, I'm going to Anthony Davis. Not going to be on LMA or any of these other options. But if you don't want to pay up at this position, some options that we can target in this mid-tier. Obviously, a guy like Derek Favors is interesting because he's going to have to play a ton of minutes today. Not the best matchup going up against Boogie and AD, but Favors is like one of the few big men that the Jazz have healthy right now. So he's probably going to have to play close to 40 minutes. And at 6,500, if he plays 40 minutes, he probably will return value on that salary. So I think he is an intriguing option if you want to go to that mid-tier power forward. Derek Favors, 6,500. Definitely think he's in play. And then this mid-tier at power forward, there's a guy here that's got a little revenge narrative. Taj Gibson, going back to OKC to face his former team. The Thunder Gibson did play for the Thunder. And these teams have faced off twice this year, and Gibson has played really well. Has averaged 32 DraftKings points in the 2 games that these teams have faced off. And Gibson, just as of late, has been playing really well. 40, 32, and 31 DraftKings points in his last 3 games. He'll probably see defense from Carmelo Anthony, so that's a matchup that Gibson can definitely win. So if you want to go to him in this mid-tier at power forward with the revenge narrative, really like Taj Gibson, 5,700. I think he makes plenty of sense in that mid-tier. And then if we're looking for some value at power forward, looking for some value at this position, it'll be interesting to see how many minutes Bam Adebayo plays today at 4,100. They are going to be, or the Heat are going to be going up against Charlotte today, so somebody's going to have to defend Dwight Howard. And Hassan Whiteside, they've already said he's going to be out for like the next 2 to 3 weeks. So Adebayo should be playing plenty of minutes. He did start in their last game against the Knicks with Whiteside out, and he played 31 minutes. He only put up 18 DraftKings points, but if this guy's going to play over 30 minutes and he's only 4,100, he is a value play that we're going to want to consider, even though it's a tough matchup against Dwight Howard. Somebody's going to have to play minutes to defend Dwight. So Bam Adebayo as a potential value play could be interesting at 4,100 at power forward or center. And I think that's it for value at this position, guys. Those are some power forwards I see I'm looking to target today. Let's go ahead and move on to center. Alright, so at center, I think there are some really good options here to pay up for. Obviously, I talked about AD earlier. I think AD is a really good option you can pay up for today. But another guy that I really like to pay up for, Karl Anthony Towns, 8,600, going up against OKC. Karl Anthony Towns has just totally dominated this team so far this year. Through 2 games, Cat has averaged 56 DraftKings points through 2 games against OKC. He's averaged 30 points and 15 rebounds through 2 games against OKC. So he's really dominated Steven Adams so far this year. And I think this is a really interesting spot for Karl Anthony Towns. Should definitely be well rested. He only played 21 minutes in their last game against the Pelicans. So I think this is a great spot for Cat. He is definitely, him and Anthony Davis are 2 of the studs I'm really looking to pay up for today. I really like this price tag on Cat at 8,600. Definitely a nice price. I think he pays this off, and he has so much upside to return tournament value on this as well. So Karl Anthony Towns, 8,600. If I look to pay up at center today, him and Anthony Davis are 2 options I'm going to be looking to target. And if we want to go to this mid-tier at center for some options here, with no Hassan Whiteside, Dwight Howard should be able to dominate in this game against the Heat. But the price tag has really got up there now. He's 7,500, whereas we've been seeing him like 6,700, 6,800. Now he's 7,500. But he has been playing really well lately. Has over 40 DraftKings points in 3 of his last 4 games. And like I said, with no Whiteside, Dwight Howard should be able to dominate in this game. So if you want to go to him in that mid-tier, even though the price has started to get up there, I think he still makes sense at 7,500. And then another mid-tier option I like, Steven Adams. I know I said that Karl Anthony Towns has dominated Steven Adams, but Adams has also had some success against Karl Anthony Towns. Through 2 games against the Timberwolves, Steven Adams has averaged 38 DraftKings points, 18 points, and 10 rebounds he's averaged through 2 games against the Timberwolves. So both of these guys, Karl Anthony Towns and Steven Adams, these guys have been going at it when they competed so far this year. So I think if you also want to play Steven Adams in the other side of that game, I think he makes plenty of sense. Steven Adams is just a guy I always like to consider because he's so consistent and his price never really rises. DK is starting to get a little better though at his price. He's now 5,800, which is kind of more than we've seen him in quite some time. I still think Steven Adams probably pays off this price tag. And with how much success he's had against Karl Anthony Towns, I think he's a good option at 5,800. And then one more guy in that mid-tier. I didn't mention him at power forward, but I think he's definitely a play if injuries break our way. Domantas Sabonis at 5,300 going up against the Raptors. Right now, as I'm recording this video on Thursday night, Miles Turner is currently questionable. If Miles Turner does not play today, great spot for Domantas Sabonis. He should see over 30 minutes with Miles Turner out. We know to begin the year, Turner was out for about a week or 2, and Sabonis pretty much crushed just about every night. And this is a really nice price tag on him, especially if Miles Turner does not play today. So be sure to keep a note on that. If Turner is out, really like Domantas Sabonis as somewhat of a value play at only 5,300. You can play him at power forward or center, so he's a really intriguing option. And I think that's it for center value today, guys. Not a ton of other value plays I'm really seeing. There are guys here that I've talked about earlier, like Bam Adebayo, 4,100. I think he's a fine center value play. But I think that's it for this position, guys. I think that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who watched the whole video. Didn't just come for the 5 plays. I do really appreciate it, guys. That's the reason I make these videos, is to share my thoughts and give my opinions on the slate, not just give you 5 plays and build half of the lineup for you. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you drop a like, and be sure to subscribe if you are new. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck tonight. Peace.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, she shaking fast. Yeah, she dropping slow. What? Yeah, neck on fro. Whoa, 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 whoa.